following 4 Aces production is for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is highly advised.
Hello, yo, what's up, Alpha?
My people, how are we doing?
Doing good. This is take 2. I hate to admit it, but this is take 2, but we're going to get it right this time. We're going to get it right. All right, so we topped off the show with talk of the fact that Marvel is seeking to find a role for Wesley Snipes in the new Blades movies. And at this point, there's speculation that his role may be as Dracula. They're going with a different kind of more based origin storyline from Blade than what the Wesley Snipes movies gave us.
And I think it's going to be great. I think it's the same quality as people talking about putting in Andrew Garfield or Tobey Maguire in the new Spider-Man movies, even as a small supporting role. Well, that still sounds just like such a cool idea.
Well, there's talk that Tom Holland is pushing for a Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse type movie where they bring in Garfield and Tobey Maguire as different universe Spider-Men. So
that would be perfect because, damn it, I just want to see Tobey Maguire do anything pertaining to Spider-Man again, please, once.
Yes, for sure.
I don't care what anybody says. People will sit around and talk about how badly written the Sam Raimi movies are, but no, damn it, they're still good to me.
Yeah, no, they were great movies. Like, people just truly got to understand. Like, yes, special effects wise compared to today's special effects, they weren't exactly A+, but they were damn good movies.
Mm-hmm.
So overall, like, I would love to see Tobey Maguire come back in. I would love to see Andrew Garfield come back in. Even though the way he left Sony, I don't know if they would bring him back or allow him to come back.
Very true.
Maybe Marvel could hire him in. Who knows? But I definitely can be impressed if they do end up using Wesley Snipes as Dracula, because like I mentioned in our first take, the last person to play Dracula in the Blade series was the guy who currently plays Rory on DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Was his name Heatwave? And Dominic Purcell is the name of the actor. He also played on Prison Break. That was another show that he was on for a long period of time and pretty much known for. But yeah, he was the last person to play Dracula. So to see Wesley Snipes come back as the role, because effectively, here's where it kind of ties into the last Blade trilogy. In the last scenes of the Blade 3, right? Dominic Purcell dies because Blade hits him with the anti-vampire venom shit, which these storylines just killed me. Yeah. He hits him with that stuff, dead in the heart, right? But right before he dies, Dracula had the ability to morph himself. So he morphed himself to look like Wesley Snipes, so that way when the FBI came to pick up Blade and take him in to perform an autopsy, they really took Dracula. Now, see, to me, this kind of symbolized a passing of the torch to where he's coming in as Dracula, but truly he's coming in as the first Blade. You feel what I'm saying?
That would be top-notch writing. That's the best case scenario right there. If they could do something like that where it really ties into the movies, even if they didn't have the IPs at the time, that would be golden.
That would be amazing to me. Like, hold on one second.
Go for it.
All right, sorry about that. Had to be a daddy there.
All good. It's all good.
Anyway, but yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. We pre-record for a reason.
Yeah. So if they can definitely work in Wesley Snipes as Blade, but as Dracula as well, that would just be amazing. You know, like I said, that would be great writing. Now, the other thing that we kind of topped off the top part of the episode talking about before we got into the wrath was the fact that lovely Hulu users like myself will find that we do not need. Now, see, this is something that DC Universe might have thought of as well, but they're not owned by Disney. They're owned by Warner Brothers. So,
for now,
Disney Plus is offered as an add-on to Hulu users. I believe the price point is between $7 to $10 a month for all the content that comes with Disney Plus. Yep. I think you sold me. On just the Marvel content alone, you sold me. The new Marvel shows and having access to all the Marvel movies, that alone, you got me for $7 to $10 a month. But then when you add all the Disney content as well, it's like, well, shit.
I'm not even gonna lie. I was so just deadpan focused on the Marvel content, I completely forgot that there was going to be anything other than that on the Disney Plus. Like, I completely forgot that Disney actually has its own, 40-plus year industry based on movie and animation on something other than superheroes and lasers. Damn it! But
I'm pretty sure.
No, honestly,
I believe access
that's
to all the Star Wars movies as well because they own the Star Wars brand and everything. They'll probably have Clone Wars, the entire series on there. Like, Disney Plus is going to be offering a lot. And like I said, it means a lot to me that Disney and Hulu came to this agreement, or Disney bought Hulu. And they came to add it as an add-on because it makes people like me happy know that for $7 to $10 extra a month, I can open up a whole new world. No pun intended. Anyway, yeah. Like that shit.
Not even $9.99.
Not even $9.99.
A whole new library.
But anyway, now if WWE could just merge with Hulu too, or merge with Disney as well, and then add Hulu to add WWE Network to Hulu, that would be awesome. That would just be the topper right there.
I'm still waiting on those rumblings that they're going to add the TNA library.
Oh, I would die for that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'll take right now,
OG TNA.
Especially that match between, what was it, Daniels, AJ Styles, and Samoa Joe. Oh.
Yep, the first 5-star match in TNA history.
And it's still one of the top 3 matches to me all time in TNA.
No, you still watch it and it still holds up.
Yep. Joe Angle was another one that's top 5 to me as well. That Joe Angle, the one that was supposed to be the MMA match when they were fighting each other.
When they were in the cage, and it took like 15 minutes for them to even touch a rope.
Yeah.
It was just pure mat for like 15 minutes straight, dude.
Oh, that was amazing. Joe. Anyway,
I still chant it. I chant it at my TV like a madman. I don't care if I'm doing it alone.
All right, so moving on to the NXT brand and what they offered us this last weekend on Saturday. That Takeover event was balls to the wall, A+. And like I said, when I originally watched it, I didn't get a chance to watch it from the beginning, so I missed out on my boys and what was possibly like one of the top 2 matches of the night candidates up there with the Street Profits and Undisputed Era. And I will tell you, I will tell you this: my boy won me over for the Street Profits. The minute he went to go do the People's Elbow. The minute he went to go do the People's Elbow, I was like, oh, God, I love this team. Yes.
I love this guy. No,
yes.
Montez Ford has had me pinned for a minute because I don't know about you, but I look at Montez Ford and I really see a lot of potential in him for a singles run.
Oh, yeah.
Like, although they're both really talented, I think Montez Ford has the fire to really do something with himself later on.
I think he'll definitely be the one. He's the one with the charisma. Or at least so far, that's what they've shown. Now, I'm hoping the guy that they don't turn out like Crime Time, where JTG had all the charisma and Shad was there, you know what I'm saying, but didn't really contribute much. And then when they tried to split them up, they really weren't as over by themselves as they were together.
No, yeah, that would be really sad, especially because Angelo Dawkins has a really, really clean in-ring ethic. He has a really good spear. Every time he hits a spear, it's like, damn, they're better than Roman.
Yep. Oh, bro, the fact that these fools went at it the way they did, and then, like I said, then when he got blocked from doing the people's elbow, turned around and hit the rock bottom. Oh,
exactly.
Montez, my boy, my boy.
I think I can confidently say that Red Dragon, the team of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, are my favorite tag team of all time right now. Like,
really?
Over the past few years, I've like really heavy gotten into them, and just looking back on all their work that they've done in Ring of Honor, and the straight bangers that they've pulled out of them in all of the takeovers.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen their matches, I implore you, please.
Well, like I said, I watched
thinking
this
back to the matches that.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you were saying? Go ahead. You dating back to?
Oh, no, like the matches they've had with like Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, where they just got in the ring and tried to kill each other, and then that ladder match a few months ago where the Street Profits won the tag team championships, there was just a lot of nasty bumps that the both of them took, and it's just like, I respect these two badass men.
Oh yeah,
both of them have like really extensive MMA careers, and they really show it. They just constantly impress me with the work they do. I love both of them.
And that I can definitely say I am like, you know, a match is good when you respect both teams coming out of it, and that match left me feeling good about both teams coming out of that match. Like, yeah, I was happy that the Street Profits retained, because I want to see them retain. I want to see them remain NXT Tag Team Champions for as long as possible. But when they make that move over to the main roster, they should be contenders right away for the Tag Team Championships, period. Whoever's got them, they should be contenders right away. And don't get me wrong, a promo feud between them and the Usos or them and the New Day.
Oh, my God.
Would have me in tears, bro. Would have me in tears.
Oh, my God. I can only imagine the material that they would crank out between that group of people.
You know,
like, I think the Usos and the Street Profits can really tear it up as something really, really like compelling and really badass. But between the New Day and the Street Profits, I think they can like pull out some R-Truth levels of legit entertainment.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so like I would say that they should be the next big thing when it comes to the tag team division. Like, just moving forward, they have the skill. One's the big guy who can move. One's the little guy who can get down, and gritty when he needs to. Both of them can get the job done. So I think as a tag team, they should be the next big thing coming through.
As one final note about them, like I really hope they bring them up, much like Cass and Enzo were brought up. You know?
Yeah.
Like day after WrestleMania, hot crowd, make them come out and just watch the reaction.
Oh yeah.
You know, just push them straight to the moon in terms of, you know, don't strap the belts right on them right away. Don't get too hasty with it, but definitely make sure that you're giving them material and they're putting them on TV every week, because
they should be getting interactions with the champs right off the back. Like they shouldn't necessarily get a title shot, but kind of like Heavy Machinery did, they should be getting interactions with the champs right off the back. You know. Because they're worthy of that.
Yeah.
But let's see. The Io Shirai, Candice LeRae match. Classic wrestling. I can't even say classic female wrestling. Classic wrestling at its best. Like those two girls put on a story and a half and a show and a half.
Like I tell people all the time that female wrestling in and of itself isn't bad. It's just a different style of wrestling.
Right.
There's a different pace, and there's a whole different style that needs to be used.
Right.
But Io Shirai and Candice LeRae they duked it out. They tried to kill each other.
No
and
shit.
I heard something after the show. Someone was like, "Way to go, Candice, for winning by losing."
Yeah.
And it was right, because Candice LeRae really pulled out all the stops, because I think this is her first takeover match, or maybe her second. It's just one of her very first, at least. And it was damn good. She did really well.
100%. 100%. I can give a big round of applause to one Miss Candice LeRae. Because no, I got a round of applause going for her right now. Sound effect. Because that was one hell of a match. You know, I'm pretty sure she's wrestled a lot on NXT TV, but this was on the big stage of Takeover, and she killed it. I would say, and here's the part that disappoints me, as good of a match as it was, because like we said earlier, this whole pay-per-view lit it up. As good of a match as it was, I think that the Io Shirai match was better than the Baszler Yim match.
Way. I like. I'm gonna say something. I don't know if I will get any type of heat or anything for this, but I'm sorry. I think Mia Yim and Carmella are among one of the worst wrestlers on the face of this planet right now.
Yeah.
I think they aren't good characters. They don't provide anything compelling, and they are definitely not good in ring. For the both of them, for me, they're just nothing but.
Carmella, 100%. I think Baszler made Yim look a lot better. By your personal assessment, I have yet to see Yim wrestle in another match, like against other people. I think Baszler made her look good, because to me the match was okay. It definitely was a part of what was a good match card. I would give it like a B+, but I can't necessarily say that's not because Baszler carried her. You know, like Baszler made her look good, because that's possible. Just like you compare Goldberg versus Undertaker at Super Showdown versus Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler, and Goldberg looked like crap in the ring with Undertaker, and then you take Undertaker and Roman Reigns versus Shane and Drew McIntyre. Undertaker looked good in that match. Goldberg looked decent in his match against, well, if that's what you want to call it, against Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam.
Quote unquote match.
Yeah, but definitely he looked better than what he looked in that previous match. And I think that for me, I can't necessarily say Mia Yim is the worst. I can say Carmella is easily one of the worst. I've seen her in ring with just about everybody, and I can agree with that statement 100%. That Carmella is one of the worst in ring competitors. But I've yet to see Yim in the ring with anybody other than Baszler.
Oh, wait, no, I agree completely. No, like Shayna Baszler, it wasn't the case of like Bret Hart carrying British Bulldog at SummerSlam 30 years ago, where he like legit put the match on his back. But I could say that match quality was definitely bent on Shayna Baszler a lot.
Okay.
But real quick thought. I'm sorry. Every time I see Carmella super kick, I cringe. Like I don't think I've ever seen a worse super kick in my life. Like I saw a video of like from like 19, 20 years ago of Big Show hitting a super kick, and that looked more impactful than whatever the hell she does. I'm sorry. Like it puts it to shame. I hate it.
No offense to Carmella, but she's one of those people that's much better as a cohort to R-Truth than she is as an actual in-ring competitor. Like that's just real talk. Like that's not knocking her. I like her as a personality. You know, like I like the fact that they've integrated her into R-Truth's little intro, where she actually has little lines that she says. I like all of that, but just keep her out of the ring. Just don't let her wrestle often. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give her like the John Cena treatment. Give her matches where she can do like 3 moves and that's it. And then she's done. You know, but luckily she wasn't on Takeover. Only thing I
keep it that way, damn it.
Yeah, you know, is that I am tired of Baszler holding the belt. And the only reason why I really ever rooted for Yim in that match is just because I'm tired. It was more of my irritation with Baszler that made me want her to lose than it was actual desire to want to see Mia Yim win.
Mm-hmm. I really hope the point of really putting that much effort into Io Shirai and really buffing her up as this badass Japanese menace invading NXT.
Bro,
I hope the point of that is to
she's hot.
Fact.
Sorry, dude. Like
Factual.
the new look. Oh.
You're not even wrong. I can't even say you're wrong. But I really hope the point of her of rearing her up that way is to have her take the title off of Shayna. Yeah. If not her, then at least Candice or just somebody. Damn.
Somebody.
Because the whole horsewomen thing is it only gets Shayna so far, and it's gotten to the point where it's damn near Jinder Mahal levels of tasteless.
Yeah.
Although Shayna Baszler is really good in ring, and she has a really unique moveset. I love her moveset, honestly. Her submission. Do you remember what it's called?
No.
The Karafuda Clutch.
Yeah.
The Karafuda Clutch. And then she has the modified version where she bridges it with a suplex, calling it the Karafuda Driver. That's one of the dopest things I've seen in a long time.
Hell yeah.
It's just a badass looking move, but in terms of just Shayna, she's gotten really stale.
Yeah. Well, I think her time to strike as far as bringing her up to the main roster was when Ronda Rousey was hot. Like that would have been the time to bring her up. Now, I don't know if her reaction would be as hot as it would have been then. You know, but for now, like, I don't necessarily think it's time to bring her up to the main roster, but I do think it's time for her to drop the belt, like, to somebody.
I agree.
So, but I can see where you're coming from. What was I say? But okay, so
wait, can we please talk about the triple threat match?
I was just about to go there, brother. My boy.
Oh yeah.
My boy, the Velveteen Dream. Oh. Man.
R-E-A-M.
Oh, you know, here's what's funny. Okay, just to give people a little history. When they first created the character, I didn't quite like him. I was just like, kind of like when they first created the Mizdow character. I didn't really like him. But the way that Damian Sandow and the way that Patrick has bought into the Velveteen Dream character sold me on it. And it's the same way when I realized exactly how much Damian Sandow was buying into the Mizdow character, even going as far as to take bumps on the ring apron during tag team matches to mimic what was happening with the Miz in the ring. It caused me to embrace the character. And that's what's happened with Velveteen Dream. So going into this match, I was rooting for him. I was just like, come on, Dream. Hold on to the belt. Don't lose it yet. Not yet. And let me just say, as much as Bleacher Report was not impressed with the match, I was highly impressed with the match. Just so you know.
Wait, Bleacher Report didn't like that match?
Bleacher Report gave it a B+.
Trash. No, that's like, in my opinion, that's a match of the year candidate.
Yeah. It said it was just too much. And I'm like, I don't understand how that was too much. That entire match had me just like, yes.
Over and over again.
Yep. Not as much as the main event when you know, the crowd started chanting, please don't die. But we'll get to that later.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to talk about that one later.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like, man. But Velveteen Dream, Roderick Strong, Pete Dunne, hell of a match.
Mm-hmm. No, going back to what you were saying, you know, I think going forward, I think the Dream and Pete Dunne are two of the people who are going to carry the next generation of wrestling, the Velveteen Dream especially, because there's a lot of people who are really good wrestlers right now, but there are only a handful of people who are really good wrestlers and even better characters.
Yes.
And the Velveteen Dream is that to a T.
Oh, bro!
Every takeover, he pulls out a new entrance, and it's a new gimmick, and every single time I have loved it.
I'll say one of my favorite moments in NXT history is from a feud between him and Ricochet, and I don't think it was over a title at the time, but he was standing on the ramp and he tells Ricochet, like, anything you can do, I can do better. And Ricochet runs and bounces off the rope and leaps over the top rope, lands on his feet and gets right in Dream's face. And he's like, he rips off his glasses like, the fuck did you just do?
And I was flabbergasted. I know what you mean.
That was another one of those promos where he ingratiated himself even more to me.
Mm. Nothing will ever touch, though. Like, so far, like, as much as I love everything that Dream has done, nothing will ever touch the feud with Aleister Black.
Yes. I remember
Say My Name, all of that. But, no, yeah, I know what you mean, though. Like, I remember when he debuted as the Velveteen Dream, when he wasn't Patrick Clark anymore, and there was no crowd reaction. And it took him all of 6 months to become the biggest thing in wrestling. And it was, I just keep thinking back to when he was on Tough Enough. And one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, The Miz, my boy, when Patrick got eliminated off the show, The Miz was like, you guys just made a mistake. That was a pure mistake. That man has it all, and you just dropped him. And 3 years later, that man would come to NXT and make his name for himself as the Velveteen Dream, and it's been legends ever since.
Man,
but that triple threat match was everything, though. Like, every little angle was fucking fire, dude. Like, that little piece when the ref was counting and Dream just grabbed his arm when it was like 2 inches away from the mat. I don't think I've ever seen something like that. No, I've seen them, I've seen them hit the ref. I've seen them break the pin, but no, he just outright grabbed the ref's hand and stopped it. And I don't think I've ever seen that.
And the look on his face too was precious too. Like no, not
everybody like exactly like no. Dream looked blown away. The ref looked at him like, "The fuck are you doing? What is this?" and Pete Dunne just looked furious, and all of it was just perfect.
But the finish is what got me though. Like that finish where Dream came with the I believe it was the elbow.
Yep, the Purple Rainmaker.
Yep. Like he's deserving of holding that North American Championship, and I hope he continues to hold on to it until he gets to the main roster. Like
Whatever that goes.
No, I was just saying, just real talk. Like, I truly hope he either advances on, because I know when his feud with Aleister Black was over the NXT Championship, right?
No, that was just a grudge match.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a grudge feud.
Oh, okay. Well, then he needs to compete for the NXT Championship soon. Soon.
Fuck it, make him double champ.
Hey, I'm down for it. He's got enough personality for it. Shit.
I would not be complaining.
Now, speaking of the NXT Championship, that match, bro.
Wait, hold up. One real quick last thought, though.
Yeah.
In that triple threat match, Roderick Strong impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Like, I've been following his stuff since he was in, like, PWG and all that. So I like to think I've been following him for a really long time. But he, in my opinion, he was the MVP of the match, especially early on when he just knee strikes all over the place and then backdrop onto the barricades, and then backdrop onto Pete Dunne. I don't know. He just pulled out a lot of really cool angles. Really pulled out all the stops for him.
Amen to that, sir. Like, Roderick, once again, round of applause. Remember, Mr. Roderick Strong. like I tell you, man, like that whole match, bro. Like, holy shit doesn't describe it good enough. You know, like it just left the crowd flabbergasted, hot and flabbergasted. And then they got 3 for the price of 1. As Mr. Wrestling himself, Johnny Wrestling, and Mr. Bay, Adam Cole, came in and handled, man. Talk about tearing the roof down. Nah. They blew that up off, sent it into the stratosphere, caught it, and then flung it around Mars. Them boys put on a hell of a show.
That was a war.
Boy, was it.
God, that match only got better with time.
And I love the
fact
that
as the match went on, it escalated over and over again.
And I love the fact that Gargano gave him the first pin. Like, I love it. Like, just, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and beat you down with a chair right quick. You can go ahead and have this first pin.
Slap.
And then sat there like, and as she's listening off, this is a street fight. He's like, oh, really now? So I can do whatever I want. That was one of my favorite moments of the match, was him just sitting
and then you
there.
start teeing off. Yeah.
Yep. Oh. And then after another 45 minutes of them beating the snot out of each other, you get you get the third match, which was basically a cage of death. I don't even know what you want to call that.
That was literally just Ambrose Asylum without being called Ambrose Asylum.
Pretty much.
They blue balled me though. Man. They pulled out that bag. I thought they were going to pull out some thumbtacks. Instead, it was a wrench and some chain. Like, damn it, you blue balled me.
You can't
bastard.
show me thumbtacks and not give me thumbtacks now.
Exactly.
If you're gonna tease me with thumbtacks, you better give me some blood, some Mankind.
They pulled out 4 pile drivers, but no thumbtacks. Damn it, I'm angry.
Random wrestling fact. I had completely forgot that Mankind did an episode of Boy Meets World. I was rewatching the series Boy Meets World. Yeah. Not only, another wrestling fact that you may not know. You know that Vader.
I was going to say that. Vader was on an episode too.
Oh, more than an episode. He was a reoccurring character as the father of one of the side characters to the 2 main characters. Vader's on like about 6. Yeah, Vader's on like 6 or 8 episodes. Like, he was on more than just an episode. Like, he's Frankie Stechino's father.
That's great. I fucking love that. I'm gonna check that out more.
but Mankind does an episode towards the end of the series as a referee, and yeah, like it's quite interesting to me. Just like the fact that Jake the Snake Roberts was on an episode too. Well, I don't know if he was actually on the episode or he was mentioned on an episode. Like it's like they show the match, but they don't necessarily show it the way you would normally show a match. But that's what I'm saying is that
shown on TV to Corey and everybody.
Right, but yeah. So like those are just random wrestling facts there for you. I'll try to keep them coming as the shows go along. But getting back to
to that main event though, yeah.
Back to that main event, they told a story, and I love the fact that they went for a natural wrestling match to start out with. Then you get the no holds barred street fight right after that, and then you get the cage match of death. Love it. Love it. Don't necessarily love the winner. I wanted to see Gargano win it again, but I can deal with Adam Cole as champ. He earned it.
I really thought they were gonna crown Johnny as the hero of NXT after all this. You know, I didn't think they were actually gonna keep the title on Adam Cole after all that.
Yep. Which tells me that it may be time for Gargano to make his main roster debut.
Oh, you didn't hear what happened after it went off air? Regal came out and gave Johnny a hug, and he stood out there for a moment and wallowed in the thank you chants. So I'm really thinking that they're going to send him to the main roster soon.
Yeah, hopefully to SmackDown or possibly 205 Live. He is a smaller dude. That's still considered main roster.
If they send that talented-ass man to 205 Live, I'm going to riot.
Well, it looks like
I love 205 Live, but god damn it, does he need more limelight than that?
Before we hit commercial break here in a second, I just wanted to say to all those people that at SummerSlam had the "If Lesnar wins, we riot" signs. I love you. I love you with all my heart. That warmed my heart to see. I was just like, oh no. I remember I watched that Extreme Rules pay-per-view where the one night stand where if Cena wins, we riot signs were all over the arena. So Cena knows
the whole.
Yep. So seeing those if Lesnar wins, we riot signs really warmed my heart. I loved it. But all right, on that note, we'll take our first and only commercial break. We'll run 4 podcast promos right quick. Goes to the Stratosphere, Voices from the Underground, an amazing nerd show, and Dub Podcast. You can catch them on Stitcher, iTunes, so on and so forth. But we'll run their promos real quick. We'll be back in about 3 minutes to talk to you about some G1 and some SummerSlam. You're listening to the Cheap Pop Podcast?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Right here on the 4 Presents Radio Network, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you find your podcasts. Peace.
So, what's up? Steve Fingerstyles here, the host of the podcast, spelled DA, of course. Tune in each and every week to hear what pisses me off, what angers me, what I make fun of, and of course, my crazy rants. I also have incompetent co-hosts, cool guests, and a silent producer that sucks. So what more do you need from a podcast? You can listen on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, and the Pod Bros Network. Peace.
From the galactic depths of the comic book universe comes the ghosts of the stratosphere, ready to galvanize and energize your mind with the latest of comic book news and reviews. And why are you stopping me? Yes, that's much better. Hi, this is Andy Larson for Ghosts of the Stratosphere. Join me every week along with my co-hosts Rob Stewart and Chad Smith, as well as a cavalcade of fantastic comic book guests, as we dish out heaping helpings of the greatest and latest of comic book news and reviews. New shows posted every Tuesday with bonus shows every first Friday of the month. You can find us on iTunes and Stitcher under Ghosts of the Stratosphere, as well as on our website, www.gotstratosphere.com. Hope to see you soon, folks.
Hey guys, this is Venice, and I've got a message from a friend of mine about my favorite podcast.
It's your boy, Flavor Flav in full effect. Check this out, everybody. I want y'all to go check out TJ.
What's good, everybody? TJ Johnson here for Voice from the Underground. I am the most handsome.
Big Has.
And I'm smoking my cigar, of course.
You know what I'm saying? The Dutch.
You pick me up in an Uber and a PT Cruiser, I'm calling Lyft.
Cause they be fighting the power, talking about social issues, politics, you know what I'm saying?
And we're not even that good.
Right, we're terrible. Terrible. Tangents all over the place.
And not only that, but they be keeping it fun with the sports, music, comics, and movies too.
Am I allowed to talk?
I think no, not right now.
Shut up, colonizer!
You know what I'm saying? He on Twitter at VFU Podcast. So you can find them. So check 1, 2. This is Flavor Flav. Yeah, boy.
Okay, what Flav was trying to say is, check out Voice from the Underground on your favorite podcast network.
Voice from the Underground.
Interruption in progress. Now hijacking into ANS 2.0 immersion rig. Now simulating the amazing nerd show. Featuring comics.
And Batman's like, you're safe here and everything, but the Joker all of a sudden pulls out a gun and shoots himself.
Movies.
People fight with lightsabers. What the hell do you want? I mean, in every one of these movies, there's a lightsaber battle.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna rewatch it a million times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, give me something more.
Wrestling.
That would be awesome. Oh my god, just a monster. Fans would be like, holy, what the hell's going on? What happened to Jericho?
Horror.
It starts off like any other like home invasion type of story, and then it just goes crazy.
And more.
Hey, this is Christian.
Hey, this is Damon.
And we are the Amazing Nerd Show.
Make sure to download us on all your favorite podcast platforms.
Can you hear me?
Hello? All right, there we go. Hopefully.
Take your time, man.
Okay,
Take your time.
now I'm back. Now I'm back. All right, we're both back.
Perfect.
Okay, so SummerSlam. SummerSlam had its ups, it had its downs. I thought it started out real hot. That Becky versus Natalia match was pretty good.
Hey, it was a pretty clean match. Two technically gifted women.
Yeah.
Women. Two technically gifted women, just really good submissionists.
Now, see, I'm wanting to be like with a Band-Aid, rip it off quickly. So I'm going to get right to it. To me, one of the worst matches of the night was Trish versus Charlotte Flair. And I expected that match to be a lot better than what it was.
I think this has just been a really bad year for Charlotte. Just every match she's had, in my opinion, just hasn't really had an effect on me like she had a few years back, you know?
Yeah. You know, it left me wanting. Like, not only because of the ending, like, I thought, if anything, Charlotte could have jobbed to Trish in her hometown. Like
even then, that would have been better than what happened and how it happened.
You know, like, but it was a hard fought match on Trish's part. But like we discussed, it just wasn't. I'm just not for it. Like, I wasn't for that match. I wasn't for that match happening in the first place. Yet alone ending up the way it did. So.
I agree.
The other match that kind of go ahead.
I think among that one, and as much as I love Bayley and Ember Moon, I think both of those matches just went on as uneventful for me. You know,
underwhelmed by far.
Yeah, underwhelming. Yeah, that's a better word for it. Just very under the radar.
The Bayley Ember Moon match was forgettable to me. Not that it was a bad match; it was just forgettable. There was nothing like truly super special about the match to me. Like, so yeah, I agree completely. Those two matches compared to what we started out with to start open tonight by Becky and Natalya were just, like you said, underwhelming.
I agree. For me though, match of the night without a doubt in my mind, 100% was Owens versus Shane.
Yeah, that match topped my list as well. Even though I'll give a close nod to the main event, to Seth and Brock.
I agree. I never get tired of watching Seth just fucking stomp the brains out of Brock. So you can take my money as many times as you want with that visual.
Well, for me, it was just kind of odd because I'll be honest with you, that's the only match I kind of got wrong. Like, as I was calling matches throughout the night, that's really the only match that I got wrong. I thought that Brock was going to retain, and so
I'm sure we all did. Honestly, I thought they would. I'm sure everybody thought they would pull the trigger on taking the title off of Brock, like finally, at maybe like Mania or the Rumble or something, you know.
But the fact that they did it now also this led me to believe, because remember we discussed before that. The idea was that the part of the Fox deal was that Lesnar be champ. But it never made sense to me why he would be the Universal champ when Monday Night Raw is staying on USA.
Time to go ruin SmackDown.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm thinking that Brock's going to Kofi. Somehow he's going to get himself into that title picture on SmackDown Live, and he's going to end up winning the title. But then again,
if we call this, dude, if we call this, I swear.
But then again, though, his guy doesn't run SmackDown. His guy runs Raw.
Very true. Very true.
You feel? So we'll see. But congratulations to Seth on what was one hell of a match. Like I said, Brock Lesnar came off looking strong. It took 3 fucking stomps and a fucking frog splash off the top of a fucking pillar to take him down. So Brock came out looking strong, and fucking Seth came out with the belt. Worked out perfectly.
Seth walked out looking like a goddamn hero. Yep. And as per always, best part of the match is watching Paul Heyman flip the fuck out and anything happens.
Yep. Anything bad. Brock's kicked. Oh my God, not Brock.
No, yeah, honestly, like, Brock takes any damage and he flips out like it's the end of the world. And like most of the time, that's where my eyes are at in the match. Just watching Paul Heyman's top tier 5-star reactions.
Well, where was your eyes during that Fiend versus Finn Balor match?
Oh my God. Quickly. Oh my God, no! My eyes were watching Bray fucking snap Finn's neck in the middle of the match. Like, Is nobody going to talk about that? Everywhere I look, nobody's talking about that. I'm just like, is nobody going to talk about the fact that he grabs that little Irishman by the face and cracks his neck in the middle of the ring? Nobody's saying anything. I mean, I understand because rightfully so, that lantern is the dopest thing on the face of this earth. But
nobody's talking about the fact that he snapped Finn back. I know, but trust me, it caught my attention. Like, it was one of the first things that I saw. Like, I was just like, wait a minute, did he just do that? I'm like, is Finn going to play dead? Like, is he going to roll him over? Like, is Finn going to just play dead? They're going to take his ass out on a stretcher, and then he going to come back as the demon or something? Like.
Did I just see a sanctioned murder?
You know? Well, what's that called? What's that? Snuff porn. Say, when the hell did I turn on a snuff porn film? Like, nah, man. Nah. I love you, Bray, but no, stop with the neck snapping stuff.
I'm so glad they gave him the mandible claw, though.
Yeah. I think if there's anybody that was appropriate, it was him. It was appropriate that the first person he ever used it on was Mankind.
No, I'm really glad they gave him that because I don't know about you, but I felt like he really needed something to finish matches that wasn't the Sister Abigail.
Yeah.
And I never really thought of giving him the mandible claw, but like growing up as a kid, I thought the mandible claw was one of the wackest moves on the face of this earth. But seeing the way that he locks it in and seeing the way that people sell the move, it's top tier, dude. He looks like he's trying to fucking kill somebody with it.
Oh,
don't even get me started on the mask.
Just like with the stunner, bro. There's nobody that sells a stunner better than The Rock. Period. There's just nobody that sells a stunner better.
No,
there is
purely for the fact that it was a bet between them, and I will never get over that. It was a bet between them. He literally came to Steve Austin and was like, "All right, if I sell this like you're hitting me with a 12 gauge, you give me a beer." And he was just like, "All right, deal."
And he does it every single time too. Sells the shit out that move. But Finn, I'll give Finn credit because The Rock was up there as one of those people that was one of the rare people that could sell the hell out of a mandible claw too. You ever watch old WWE Attitude Era Raw when Mankind locked in that mandible claw on The Rock? All his arms would get to flailing and he'd be all over the place, and it was mad. Which, by the way, side note, since we were speaking about The Rock real quick, just went and saw Hobbs and Shaw. Amazing movie. I recommend it to anybody to go see. But yeah, like nobody sold those type of finishers like The Rock. Shit, The Rock completely sold a damn pedigree. He'd give you the full plank board all the way down to the ground.
Honestly, between him and Shawn Michaels, I don't know who is better at just selling their ass off, dude.
Yep.
But no, yeah, I mean, like, going back to the stunner,
yeah,
I didn't get to say this as we passed by it, but Kevin Owens' usage of the stunner is damn good, too.
Yep.
Like, I've seen a bunch of conversations started up now, like, what Attitude Era finishers do you think should be assigned to who? And maybe we'll talk about that next episode. But Kevin Owens using the stunner is just, it's golden to me because they're really pushing this idea that he's this freedom fighter hero against the McMahons.
Yep.
And using the stunner without really pushing it exactly like you did Steve Austin really makes it feel a bit more authentic that way. I'm digging it.
Now, see, to me, I've always said that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And like, not only that, but in my opinion, Kevin Owens is a professional at using other people's moves.
Yes, he is.
Like,
yes.
Sorry, go ahead though.
Oh yeah, but like, I think that I love the way that they're building him up as this Austin-like character, but he's kind of got his own thing as well. You know, like he's still Kevin Owens. You know, he's still got that attitude, that swagger. They're not trying to make him Stone Cold Steve Austin. Now, I'm wondering, is he going to have his, and I'm putting air quotes up, Stone Cold moment this week at King of the Ring?
What do you mean, like?
Like, because you know the King of the Ring tournament.
Stone Cold moment.
Austin, Austin 316. So that was considered like the moment Stone Cold became Stone Cold. The
moment he stopped being the ringmaster Steve Austin and he became Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Right. And so I'm wondering if they're going to give Kevin Owens that moment, not necessarily Stone Cold Kevin Owens, but they're going to give him that moment at King of the Ring, because it was winning that King of the Ring that kind of put Austin over.
I hope at least they'll work something in, because if you haven't seen the bracket, the people that are in the King of the Ring tournament, he's not even in it.
He's not? I thought he was supposed to be in it.
He's not. Nope, He is not.
Well, then that's a
so I'm hoping they'll do some magic and have somebody get written out so he could get written in.
Somebody
much like
get hurt. Is Buddy Murphy in it?
Yeah, yes, Buddy Murphy is in it.
Then Buddy Murphy will get beat down by Rowan and all them. Quick side story. I read an article. Buddy Murphy was not originally supposed to be a part of this storyline.
Really?
Yes, there was evidently a mishap where when they were shooting the scene where Roman was walking towards the thing before the thing fell on him, before the scaffolding fell on him, when they were shooting that scene, there wasn't supposed to be anybody behind Roman. And Buddy Murphy just happened to come in the shot. And so a bunch of people online noticed it and pointed it out, and WWE just ran with it.
I'm feeling it.
But writing-wise, he wasn't...
I fucking love Buddy Murphy.
I was like, but writing-wise, he was not supposed to be a part of that storyline. That's hilarious to me.
This whole thing was purely an accident.
Yeah, it shows you the fly-by-night nature or the fly-by-script nature of the WWE in general. That, yes, there's a lot of things that are scripted out, but certain things audiences can influence. They can influence where things go and how things go. But SummerSlam as a whole, I think, was a B+ to an A- card, only because there were a couple kind of dull matches. I was kind of disappointed with the fact that neither one of the tag team titles were defended, but the good matches were good matches. Like Kofi versus Randy Orton told a fucking story.
Yeah, I think the show as a whole was just a moderately good show. For a WWE show, I think it was really good, because I'm so used to pay-per-views being subpar at best.
Yeah.
I think it was a moderately good show.
Yeah. Like I said, it wasn't as hot as NXT TakeOver, but very rarely, even WrestleMania has gotten to the point where it's not as hot as the TakeOver event that happens the night before.
Because TakeOver does what TakeOver does, and it knocks it out of the fucking park, catches the ball, and then shoves it in their fucking face.
Yep. Gives you 5 or 6 matches that are all A+ matches.
Absolutely.
But all right, man. So why don't you go ahead and start briefing us on G1 here and letting us know what happened with that. I'm going to take a back seat to you real quick.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Okay, if you don't know, by the time the G1 climax has ended, we have a new member of Bullet Club, and I'm a little bit frustrated with it, because it had to be literally like one of my least favorite wrestlers on the face of this earth. The boy Kenta, previously known as Hideo Itami, has joined the Bullet Club.
Oh, weak. So they bring him in and right to the Bullet Club, huh?
Yeah, they did. But they did it in a cool way, though. If you aren't familiar with the wrestling god of a man known as Katsuyori Shibata, who retired in 2016 due to hitting a headbutt on Okada that gave him a concussion that ended his career. He came out after Kenta revealed that he joined the Bullet Club and hit him with his signature running boot and then that hesitation drop kick, and everybody went crazy because everybody's waiting for Shibata to come back. So at least I'm glad about that.
Nice.
And the climax, the G1 climax, the finals, ended with Kota Ibushi and Jay White pulling out a 5.5 star match. Rated by...
Added an extra half a star, huh?
Exactly. Uncle Dave brought out that that little .5. And it was a really good match.
Yeah.
It was. I'm a little sad Jay White didn't win it, though, because I'm a huge Jay White fan, and in my opinion, that's top 3 best heels on the planet right now.
Okay.
But Jay White did not win it. Our winner of the G1 is indeed Kota Ibushi.
Nice.
Which again, I'm a little bit sad about because I'm not the biggest Kota Ibushi fan, but nonetheless, he puts in work and he puts on good matches, so I'm happy. I'm glad it was him and not fucking Lance Archer or some shit, someone that'd be completely out of the wall.
For sure.
But no, yeah, Kota Ibushi wrestled his happy ass off all the way up to the top.
Nice.
Although the man who has wrestled the most, what would I say, concurrently best matches of everybody there would be Tomohiro Ishii.
Okay.
Who came out with a match average of 4.56 stars throughout the entirety of the G1.
Nice.
And right behind him was Kota Ibushi and Will Ospreay. And overall, I'd say it was really good. Will Ospreay really, I think, was the shining star of this. He pulled out a lot of really, really good matches, and he sparked a lot of debate on if he has the contendership for being one of the best wrestlers in the world today, which I don't know if I agree with. One of the best, like, top 5, but I'd say he'd usually crack the top 10.
Nice.
But Lance Archer really came in and pulled in as this American heel that Michael Elgin usually is.
Nice.
John Moxley came through with his little Japanese twink boy that he came around and followed with his new child Shota Umino.
Nice. Hey, quick question, a little off track. That commercial or whatever, that video that popped up, is that like Cassidy, like Enzo and Cass? Orange Cassidy?
What video that popped up?
The AEW video that popped up saying that they got Orange Cassidy.
Oh, no. Orange Cassidy is not the boy Big Kaz.
Okay.
He had a Z to his name now, that dork. No, Orange Cassidy is a whole nother buffoon. If you can look at his stuff, go ahead. He's an idiot, but he's an entertaining idiot. So if you can, go check out his stuff online.
Okay, I can do.
If you watched Fyter Fest, or was it Double or Nothing? I'm not quite sure. They had this battle royale, and Orange Cassidy was there. He was just this little dork in jeans that kicked Tommy Dreamer in the shin a few times before being dumped out of the ring.
Kicked Tommy Dreamer a few times. Wow.
If you can't. No. That's the point. Trust me. You'll see. Go check it out yourself.
All right, I will.
But Orange Cassidy is cool. But in my opinion, I think this was one of the best G1s
in a while
because they're having a lot of interconnecting different stories.
Every
year they seem to have Sonata and Evil duke it out, despite the fact that they're best bros. And speaking of which, Sonata really pulled off that new look he has going on, the dyed hair and the new skull and the big jacket. I really think that with that, he has the potential to be a really good single star and break out of that mold of being LIJ's resident tag team badass.
He'll shoot straight to the top.
Exactly. Juice Robinson also coming out and proving once again that he has the chops to become the next big American ace.
Nice.
The true ace, Toru Yano, wrestled his happy ass with. Is that his happy ass off? Well, English John. But no, he did what he does, innovated what being a heel is in wrestling.
For sure.
But Naito said something during the G1 that really caught my eye, though.
Okay.
He had talked about that New Japan's biggest flaw.
Mm.
And he said that New Japan's biggest flaw is something along the lines that it's content with being number 2 to WWE. Is that it happily lets people like Kushida and Nakamura go to WWE, and it's okay with that, and it just lets it happen, and it makes it seem like it's okay with being second place. And I never thought about it that way.
Yeah, I would say yes and no. Like, where my only disagreement with it would be is that, do they really have a choice? Once the people's contracts are up,
No.
they can go wherever they want to go. So, like, you know what I'm saying? If dude's going to leave for WWE, dude's going to leave for WWE. Can you really, like, you know, barricade his door in and tell him, no, you're not going to go to WWE? It's a wrestler's choice. That's the thing. That's the only thing that sucks about working with independent contractors, is they have the right to pick up their shit and go pick up their ball and go home whenever they feel like it. But if he's talking from more of a personal experience, internal morale type thing, that they're just happy to be too, then I can see, like, you know, it being a definitely interesting take on it. But as far as them losing wrestlers is the reason why they're happy to be, if those wrestlers wanted to go to WWE at the end of their contract, just like with WWE might have wanted to stop Dean Ambrose and might have tried in plenty of ways from stopping Jon Moxley from going to AEW. But at the end of the day, once his contract was up, he could do whatever the hell he wanted to do. And there was nothing WWE could do to stop him. You know,
Very true.
You know, if WWE had their way, they'd still have Jon Moxley on roster, but they don't. So at the end of the day, ultimately, could New Japan have stopped them? Nah, not really. But could there be,
in terms of just like the morale of it and the feeling of just letting people go like that? I think I understand what he means. But no,
yes.
I see what you mean.
Yeah. So, but that would be the only place where I would have a different feeling about it. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Absolutely. I linked you that Tomohiro Ishii and Hiroki Goto match.
Yes.
I linked you that to show the bangers that Ishii was pulling out.
Oh, that was an amazing match. Like I said, a lot of, you know what's funny though, is I'm not saying, to me, to an extent, Japanese crowds are a little too calm for as exciting as those matches get. Like, they get into it, don't get me wrong, but like, I'm expecting like the stadium to be rocking like Full Sail is during a hot NXT match, and like the most I'm getting is like a lot of clapping. That's how it is. That's how it
is. As much as I love the respect and the courtesy that is shown of Japanese crowds, it's a very slow build. So you'll have these big spots pulled off in the beginning of matches, and you'll just be met with just a little clap, and that'll be it. And it's just like, damn it, I want some fire.
Well, it's like Cole at one point during a Raw that I was watching. The crowd was so dead it sucked the life out of me. Like, trying to get excited about what was going on in the ring. Like, and when a crowd...
It's always bad when there's a dead crowd. It's always bad.
When a crowd is that silent, sometimes it sucks the energy out of me, which is why sometimes it makes it hard for me to watch New Japan. It's because, like you said, you're getting these amazing spots that in an American smaller venue crowd, because I know they're in a big, stadium venue, in a smaller venue, in an American venue, that it would be rocking, like they would be blowing off the roof off, 2 minutes into the match. It just, like I said, it just kind of sucks a little bit of the life out of me. But I enjoy watching their matches because technically they're more sound than any WWE match from pillar to post, just about.
Absolutely. I preach it all the time, and as marky as it is to say it, it's like, whether you like it or not, if you're looking for the best in-ring matches, the best, most technically, the place to go is New Japan. Because you're not going to find matches that are as hard-hitting and utterly top tier in terms of storytelling, especially. You're not going to find matches anything like New Japan.
Yep. Amen. 100%.
Absolutely.
All right, brother.
All right.
So you said you had a wrestler for us this week? A wrestler to keep an eye on?
Absolutely.
Tell us about
him. Last week, I talked about the boy Jungle Boy. Who, if you haven't looked at his stuff, please do. That man flips like crazy. But this week, I've been really getting into Trevor Lee, now known as Cameron Grimes. He's recently signed with NXT. He spent a very long time in the Indies. He made PWG his home.
Cameron
Grimes? Cameron Grimes, previously known as Trevor Lee. He's this moderately sized white guy from Georgia. He got long hair, and damn, can he work?
Nice.
He uses a really, really cool set of moves. This running switch crossbody called the Collision Course, and then what he's known for is his leaping chest stomp thing. that looks like he's trying to fucking break somebody's rib cage.
Damn.
If you haven't found his stuff, go check it out. His best stuff is definitely in PWG.
Okay.
So if you get the chance to check out, his final match there was with the man, the myth, the legend, the man with no neck, Jeff Cobb.
Yes, Jeff Cobb.
Yep. And then, no, aside from that, he's now known as Cameron Grimes. He was on NXT tapings just this week.
Okay.
He had a really good match with Jordan Miles, previously known as ACH, the anime hero.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
But, no, yeah, he's a lot of really, really good stuff. Check him out if you get the chance.
I definitely will.
Utterly
Y'all should check
horrifying
him
in
out,
ring.
too.
Looks like he kicks people's fucking heads off.
Hey, man.
All right,
hey,
all right.
The more realistic you make it look, the better off the crowd is in general.
Wrestling is all about the what would you say? Man, I lost the word for it. I'll think it up later.
The real kayfabe of it? The real kayfabe of it.
No,
that's what I'll call it. No, this is...
What would you say? Damn, I forgot how to say it. I'll think it up, though. Don't worry.
For sure. We'll have it by next episode, y'all. So, all right.
Absolutely.
So that'll do it for us for this week. I want to thank y'all for listening in again. It's been another great episode here with Alpha. We'll clean up next week. And just a thought, maybe we do a little review with the talk of them rebooting the X-Men movies. Let's do a little review of the, 3, 4 of them that have come before already? 3 of them?
Absolutely.
No, 4 with Logan. 4 with Logan. So we'll cover that as well.
True. Yeah, that's the main line.
So
Please.
we'll talk a little bit about that, and then a little Raw and SmackDown as well, as we're leading into the next pay-per-view, Clash of Champions. So y'all have a great night on this lovely Sunday night. Be sure to listen in to all the other shows. This week we got Double K's Classroom, got K-Double's Fifth Period Music Class. We just did 90s reggae acts. We got Lip Gloss and Mike's, Mr. Deacon Experience on Saturdays, Brick House on Sundays earlier in the day, Inspiration Radio, same thing. MVT Deuce probably a little bit after this show. We got it all rocking here, so keep listening in. I'm K-Double. That's Alpha. We'll catch y'all next week. Peace.